Hey Sunrise, it's Andrew here for your small group questions for this week as we start our new series in the book of Jude. So for the next 4 weeks, we're going to unpack this short, often neglected book and unpack its significance as we look to live out the faith well daily. And so the first thing that we come to is, of course, the fullness of this text. And I would ask you, what is something that you're looking forward to gaining knowledge from this text? But also, what are you looking to apply from having studied this text better? How are you hoping that God will use this in your life to grow you in your faith? And then from there, we're going to dive into the text before us. So, of course, some of the basic questions that we work through in any text. Who is the author? What is significant about the author? Who is his audience? And how do we see those things revealed in the text itself? And so, what is the significance of his introduction? What's the significance of his address to the people, those who are called, beloved in God, kept for Jesus Christ? What does this teach us about the Christian faith, who we are as believers? And then as you begin to journey through, we're only looking at the first 4 verses. This week, we then see this desire that he had to proclaim the gospel, to encourage them in the gospel. But due to things going on, he felt a need to address something a little bit more specific. Because as we work through this, he's going to proclaim the gospel to them. But he's going to do it in a way that calls them to contend for the faith. What then does it mean to contend for the faith once for all delivered to the saints? What is the importance of this truth? And so where do we find this truth? Where do we find the faith once for all delivered to the saints? That we may live in light of it well. Then into that, he gives a warning of why. Why did he have to write this letter? What is he asking them to be on the lookout for in their midst? And so as you work through this text, we'll talk about some of the application. How does this affect us? What are ways that we can contend for the faith well in our actual daily lives? What are ways that we personally can contend for the faith well in our lives? And then as we see these things play out, how are we encouraged in the truth of God's word to follow him more closely through the truth of his word revealed? Hope to spend some time in the text. Again, our small groups are going to be a great place to unpack these truths over the month of July as we continue to grow in our relationship with one another through God's word. Hope to see you guys on Sunday.